After recording
I
the
was sitting
podcast
there,
for you, I realized that I
frustrated
really
a few
wanted to
weeks
read a
ago.
quote for you. And now that
Frustrated
I'm
because
learning
I had
post-production
this
editing,
really
I
deep,
realized I could
deep
actually do that.
realization, like a
So
bolt of
this
lightning
quote
hit me.
comes from a speech
And it
called
was, I
Citizenship
did not
in a
sign up to
Republic by
play this
Theodore
game.
Roosevelt on April
This
23rd,
game
1910.
that
A lot of
originated,
people know this
God knows
as
where,
the man
God
in the
knows when.
arena. And
I
this
wonder who
quote
originated.
I actually had
See,
custom
this
built
game
in
started
like a
before I was
barnyard
born.
frame
This game
after I
started
sold
before
my
you were
first
born.
company.
This game
Last
started
year,
before
I had
any
it
of us
made for
were
me,
even a
and it's
thought
hanging up in my
on this plane
workspace where I
of
train and I
existence.
work.
This story
And
for
this
women
is
is
one of my
too
favorite
tall,
quotes
you're too
of
short,
all
you're
time.
too fat, you're
So,
too skinny, you're too
enjoy.
muscular, you're too
It
flabby,
is not the critic who
you're
counts,
too
not the
bossy,
man who
you're
points
too
out how the
confident,
strong
you're
man
too
stumbles,
loud,
or where the
you're too
doer of deeds could have
outspoken,
done them
you're
better.
too meek,
The credit
you're
belongs to the
too
man who is
masculine, you're
actually
too
in the
feminine,
arena, whose
you're
face
too
is
smart,
marred by
you're not
dust and
smart
sweat
enough.
and blood,
And it's
who
just a
strives
constant,
valiantly, who errs,
like,
who comes
teeter-totter
short
of
again and again,
not
because
enough,
there is
not
no
enough of
effort
something.
without error and shortcoming.
And for men,
But who does
just as
actually
bad.
strive to do
Too
the
tall,
deeds,
too short,
who
not
knows
enough
great
hair,
enthusiasms,
too
the
much
great
hair,
devotions,
goes for
who
women as
spends
well,
himself
right? Hair's too
in a
curly,
worthy
hair's
cause,
too straight,
who at the
hair's not
best
straight enough,
knows in the
too
end
muscular.
the triumph of high
Now
achievement,
everybody's just
and
hanging out
who
with
at
you
the
because of
worst,
your
if he
body, too
fails,
weak,
at
too
least
strong,
fails while
too
daring
outspoken,
greatly,
too
so that his
confident,
place
too
shall
shy,
never be with those
too
cold and
poor,
timid
too
souls
rich.
who
Now
neither know
everybody's hanging out
victory
with you
nor
because you
defeat.
only have money. Too athletic,
You
where that's
have
all
a
you
chance
care
to
about.
be
Too
the
busy
man in the
with
arena.
work. Too busy
You
with
have
your
a chance
projects.
to
Not busy
turn
enough.
off
Not a good
the
enough
shouts
father.
and the screams
Too good of a father.
of those
Not a
sitting
good
on their
enough mother.
couches
Too good of a
or
mother.
sitting in those
Now you're too
cheap
focused on
chairs
this thing.
in the
And
arena,
too smart.
screaming
Not smart enough.
nonsense
And it's
at
just a
you,
constant
who don't
teeter-tottering
understand
of
what it's like
external
to be
feedback of the
who you
world
are
from the
at this moment.
perspective that other people
I hope
see
you
it.
enjoyed this
And
quote.
the
And now
reality
back to the
is,
podcast.
you are enough. I am enough. For so long, I struggled thinking that I'm not enough. And when that lightning bolt hit me, I realized, who am I not enough for? I'm more than enough for what I would like to accomplish in my life and what I'd like to do and what I have done. I've lived so many amazing years, and I get to live as much time as the universe allows me. And in that moment where that lightning bolt hit me, I realized I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play this game where I put so much weight on what other people think about me. So much weight about other people's opinion about how I choose to live my life and who I choose to be. For so long, I just wanted to be accepted by you, by everyone. But I realized that by playing this game, I was losing myself. I was forgetting who I was because I was playing it safe. I wasn't rocking the boat, and I was just scared of the criticism of, well, you. I was scared of what you would think of me. I was scared that I wasn't enough or I was being too much. And in that moment a few weeks ago where it felt like that lightning bolt hit me, I realized it doesn't matter what you think. We can both be right and have completely different opinions. We can both be right and have completely different perspectives. Because your perspective could be right for you, and my perspective could be right for me. And in reality, neither perspective is right, because eventually if you stretch out the timeline, it'll shift. Because the only thing that's guaranteed in our lives is that change will come, and things will shift, and things will change. If you're listening to this and fear of criticism is something that you've struggled with in the past or struggle with now, I mean, it's probably worse than ever because you can't escape it. Like bullying for kids, that criticism, it follows you around everywhere on social media. You can be reached through text messages. I mean, everybody wants to give their opinion nowadays. And the reality is, the opinion of the crowd doesn't really matter. It's the man or woman in the arena. After recording the podcast for you, I realized that I really wanted to read a quote for you. And now that I'm learning post-production editing, I realized I could actually do that. So this quote comes from a speech called Citizenship in a Republic by Theodore Roosevelt on April 23rd, 1910. A lot of people know this as the man in the arena. And this quote I actually had custom built in like a barnyard frame after I sold my first company last year. I had it made for me, and it's hanging up in my workspace where I train and I work. And this is one of my favorite quotes of all time. So enjoy. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. You have a chance to be the man in the arena. You have a chance to turn off the shouts and the screams of those sitting on their couches or sitting in those cheap chairs in the arena screaming nonsense at you, who don't understand what it's like to be who you are at this moment. I hope you enjoyed this quote. And now back to the podcast. Who's out there bleeding, sweating, face dirty, and if it's something that still bothers you, something to think about, a quote that really resonated with me on the topic. If you look at how fast people forget the dead, then you would think twice about caring about what people think of you. Hey, we're all dying. Like, we're born into the grave. The only thing that makes us different from other animals is that we know we're going to die. And we have an existential crisis that's attached to knowing that we're going to die. And I don't want to regret life. I don't want to wait to start life because I was scared of what others would think of me. I just want to enjoy my life and enjoy every moment, all the highs, all the lows, all the mundane moments in between, the waiting moments, because there's so much beauty and love and joy in every moment. And us giving our power away to the external world to let it operate our internal voice is a very dangerous game that we've been taught to play. I hope that I really wish for you to truly find yourself inside of yourself. More like remember yourself. Because when you remember yourself and you really listen to that voice inside, you'll realize what you get to do next and what you get to enjoy next. Because the reality is, nobody can tell you what to enjoy and who to be except you. I love you, my friends. I hope that you have a beautiful day, evening, whenever you're listening to this. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends if you got value from this. This was Our Deepest Fear with me, your host, Rome Zah, or as some of you know me, Roman Zardansky. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.